Well, hello peeps, it's good to be with you again. Richard, I'm back once more. Just let me have a cup of coffee. It's a beautiful morning, just woken up. Gonna have my caffeine intake, a little bit of nicotine. Then we're gonna start rocking and rolling. Oh, lovely. When you see me pumping out vapor like that, you know for sure, oh, it's come back down on me again, all this fog, excuse me. You know I'm going to be talking about a rebuildable dripping atomizer. And this rebuildable dripping atomizer, or dripper I like to call it in short, well, it was supposed to come by quite a while ago because it was released, in fact, a couple of months back, and I just never had the chance to do it. Well, call it occupational hazard. Been busy with work, so it led on from one day to another until last week. Managed to, get my hands on it, and the build quality is exceptional, and it's a very uniquely designed RDA. But what really caught my attention was the logo. It's very, very impressive logo, and it is something what they call an ambigram. So without further ado, let's find out more about this clone that I have in my hands. This is the Veritas clone from Tobeco. So before we get into the close-ups, guys, we're just going to talk a little bit about the Veritas clone that we have in my hand here from Tobeco, and just to highlight to you that the authentic rebuildable dripping atomizer, the Veritas, is actually by a company called IHybrid, which is made in the USA, which is also retailing for about $120 US. The Tobeco version, which I got from a guy, or rather a seller, what am I saying, a seller, excuse me, from Facebook, is about 60, he's selling it for about 60 ringgit. You can get other sellers selling it for 10 bucks more, which is about 70 ringgit. So it's around there, about USD 20, 25 US dollars. And I've got it at a very, very special price from this fine young gentleman by the name of Zul. Thank you very much for the purpose of this review. So he sold it to me much cheaper at a special cost. All right. And apparently Tobeco has also, sort of like improved on the quality. This is what I was told by him, of their devices. I think this is all thanks to all the other manufacturers for clones as well, who's been trying to, outdo each other by producing better quality clones all the time. So Tobeco, they've been around for a while, and if they don't up their game and sort of like keep up with all the other manufacturers who's coming out, like with Infinite, for example, with very quality clones, they're going to be left behind. So this is something good for the consumers as well. Yeah, all right. Besides that aside, this RDA is actually controlled by a very unique airflow system. It's got 2 channels in there, and it's got a reduced chamber, so to give you, that lovely flavor that when you vape on it, like I said, this is a flavor kind of rebuildable dripping atomizer, which is like the Magma RDA, or even, although I don't have one, I haven't had one before, I think the Origin dripper is also known for its flavor. So this is together in the same league. But however, I was pleasantly surprised after I did a dual coil on this, which came up to about 0.4 something ohm. It's giving me a lot of vapor as well. It's pumping out a lot of vapor. And I'm going to show you right now before we get to the close-up. I hate to do this because it is really pumping out the vapor, and it gets the whole room all foggy again. See what I mean? So, without further ado, let's get into the close-ups and see up close what the Veritas clone from Tobeco is all about. Alright folks, so getting up into the close-up of the Veritas clone from Tobeco, the original, of course, or authentic, from IHybrid, made in the USA. We have the dripper here in my hand, and as you can see, the first thing you see is the beautiful logo right there, all beautifully engraved, quite a deep engraving as well. And this is what they mean by an ambigram. If you read it from the left to the right, it says Veritas here, and if you turn it the other way around and read it from left to right, it also says Veritas. So it's like a kind of a reflection kind of thing, and as I mentioned, they call this the ambigram. So besides that, at the back you have your air hole here. If I just push this in a little bit, it lines up really well together. So this is a 3mm air hole that you have here, very unique airflow system control. What happens is air goes in here, gets out in the middle, right at the positive post in the middle. It splits the air to cool your coils, which we will be taking a look up close again shortly. Besides that, you have your grooves all along here, 2 grooves here to help dissipate heat that's coming to your top cap. And that's about it for this side. And if you look at the top here, where you have a smaller ring here to fit your top cap. Alright, so as you can see in the middle there, that's your positive post. Looking at the back, we have your 510 connecting pin made of stainless steel, and in fact this entire rebuildable dripping atomizer is made from stainless steel 304. Alright, so this is a 22mm diameter rebuildable dripping atomizer, which fits your 22mm Mac mods perfectly, looking absolutely stunning, right? Especially if you have a stainless steel one. A lot of people I know nowadays like to use copper mods. Well, to each their own. So this is the clone version from Tobeco. We're going to open this up right now. I'm going to get a tool here and just stick it in and open up the top cap and see what's in store for us inside. Opening up the top cap, just taking a look at the inside of the top cap. As you can see in there, there's just a middle line here to what you call grip the O-ring, your airflow, and there's a bit of a concave in there to harness your flavors before it reaches your drip tip. So that's the top cap. We're going to put that aside and take a look at the other piece. The building deck is what they call it. This is, like I said, a reduced chamber. You see this block here that's reducing the space around here, and the reduced chamber, what it does is harness all your flavor in here and intensify the flavor when it goes to your mouth. All right, so yeah, this is the air hole that we have at the back here, that goes in from the back, comes out from here. And of course you have your 2 micro coils, or rather your coils running each alongside each other here on your negative post. You have your negative post. These are your 2 negative posts, one here, which is held on by your Phillips screw here, your wires, and you have your positive post here. Then you have these nuts here. So all you got to do is just thread your wire around here and screw down this nut. Okay, you have the air hole in the middle, and air comes from the back out to the front, cooling your coils and giving you the best flavor and also the best vapor production. And as I mentioned, this is a flavor rebuildable dripping atomizer. You've got your 2 O-rings at the sides here, guys, here, which will hold down your top cap pretty firmly, at the same time not too tight. You can still adjust your top cap by turning it. And of course it would be better before you start vaping, you just run your fingers around with e-liquid, which makes it easier and doesn't sort of like cut into your O-rings and damage it, tear it, or in any way. Alright, so there you go, that's your rebuildable deck here. And also just before I forget, you have your 2 channels on each side, the left and the right channel. This is to actually trap all the e-liquid, extra e-liquid, or from your condensation from the top cap that flows down here and back into your cotton again. So basically, from what I know, this is a leak-proof rebuildable dripping atomizer. And yeah, unless you probably over drip and it runs into this hole and comes out from the back, and it's gonna leave quite a mess you know, in your hands. So other than that, it's also got a very, very deep juice well in there. We're going to just take a quick look and see how deep this juice well is. All right, I'm going to just measure it with my finger, and this is how deep. Easily about 10 millimeters perhaps. All right, this is how deep the juice well is. Alright, as you can see, I've got my Veritas building deck here attached to my mechanical mod. I'm going to attempt in vain to try and show you how to do a dual coil here, about 6 to 7 ramps, try and get it to about 0.4, 0.5 ohms, and we'll see using 28 gauge Canthal. I've got my Canthal wire, which is about 6 to 8 inches in length. What I'm going to do right now is put the two ends together, let them meet together like this. Yeah, just hold it with one side, one end, and just run your fingers through it and make a loop at the other end here like this. Just grab your mechanical mod with the deck, and as you can see the nut there, yeah, in between the space, just put it in there, hold it with your thumb and just screw it down. Use the tweezer to help you with it. Once you've got that tightened down, great. Now next, you want to just split them up on each side, left and right, and you have both sides there. Just get hold of a screwdriver like that, and I'm going to do 7 wraps. Put it on the top of the deck, yeah, and the wire underneath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I've got 7 wraps there. And next thing you want to do is just slide the screwdriver towards the end there, twist, turn the thing, and you have yourself a vertical coil. Get yourself the Phillips screwdriver and just pin down your Canthal wire to the negative post. Next, you want to do the same for the other side as well. Just put your screwdriver there, pin it down, and you want to start coiling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pin it down and screw the guy in. And I have 2 micro coils. Next, I want to just snip off the wires. 1, 2, and we're going to give it a test fire. And then after that, we're going to use our tweezers and pinch it again to get it, to burn evenly from inside out. Yeah, see, my babies are lighting up. Alright, so now I'm going to just tweak it a little bit, pinch it, pinch it. So it's the other side, pinch it, light it up, inside out. There you go. That's my dual coil right in front there. Like I said, not the nicest looking coils. I'm sure all you guys out there can build it much better than I do. And let's test it one more time. Inside out, inside out. Yeah. Before we put in some cotton, I'm just gonna sit it down, lock it. Oh, I forgot. I'm gonna check the resistance. So there you go. I've got it at 0.53 ohms. I've got my rayon fiber cotton. Actually, they're not cotton, they're just fake silk. So from the top, I'm gonna put it in with the help of my tweezer. Again, just pinch the bottom, pull it out the other end, gently pull, pull, pull. And then what you want to do is just use your hand to slowly guide it and pull it all the way down. Yep, pull it down a bit, and that's it. That's my first coil with cotton. Pull the other end. Good job. Well done. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just trim off the ends. I'm not going to use so much of cotton. I'm just going to cut this off here. And I'm going to cut this off here. That's my cotton. I'm going to use my screwdriver, my little screwdriver, to push it back in now. This stuff is really good. Right, you can see the 2 channels there, so whatever juice that condensates on the top cap there will come down and back into the channel, your cotton is going to soak up all the juice again. So it's absolutely completely no leakage. So there you go. My cotton with my micro coils in there. This is melon with a little bit of menthol in it. Okay, we're gonna give it a test fire and see if it works. All right, here it goes. Yeah, it's working, it's working. Beautiful, nice. My 0.5 ohm coils. The top cap, I'm gonna put the top cap together with my drip tip in there. All right, so make sure you line up the hole. And apparently some people actually uses this hole to drip in there. You can just squeeze, you know, some juice in. After that, just let it slide down the channel in there, back into, you know, the bottom where you have your cotton to soak it up. That's it, you're good to go. So that's my Veritas RDA, all waiting to be vaped. Alright, so guys, we're back from the close-ups, and you've seen up close what the Veritas rebuildable dripping atomizer from Tobeco is all about. Very well built, I've got to say, and also quite a performer too. So I've got it in my hands here, and when I first saw the logo Veritas, I was kind of curious about the word itself, Veritas, and that's what happens, you know, when I see a name or anything like that on a device. I try to find out, you know, what's behind the name. So what I did was Google up Wikipedia, and I actually found out Veritas is actually from a Latin word which is pronounced as Veritas, and there's also a line that says in vono veritas, which means in wine there is truth, which is so true, because if you go out with a friend and go to a bar and have a couple of drinks, and then a few more couple of drinks, and then a few more couple of drinks, and then you have that one for the road, and the truth comes out. He'll confess everything to you, and that is the truth. So in vono Veritas, that's what Veritas is all about. Just a quick fact for you. So anyway, this is the Veritas rebuildable dripping atomizer, which I got from, as I mentioned, from a company here called Vaporpo Watakungsi. I will leave a link in the description box, especially for Malaysians. If you're interested, you can actually check them out. They're retailing this for only 60 ringgit. I don't know whether he still have them in stock. It's from a guy called Zul. I always meet up with him. He's become a friend. Really cool guy. Shout out to you, Zul. Terima kasih once again. And we're going to take one more vape and just call it a day. Hate to be doing this because it really fogs up the whole room. Very nice. Until I talk to you again, guys. Vape safe, have a nice day, and ciao, bye for now.